Hello everyone, this is Dr. Noor Nigar, and today I am going to complete the summarization of the short story The Toys of Peace by H. Munro. Before I start, let us have a quick recap of what was done in the first part. In the first part, we saw how Eleanor Bope she offers a newspaper cutting to her brother Harvey, and this she tells that how this newspaper contains the ideas of the National Peace Council on the influence of toys on children, especially violent toys on young boys. She suggests her brother to get some toys of peace for children on Easter. And the brother somewhat agrees to get uh, toys of peace for children or civilian toys for the children on Easter. He comes with a red cardboard box, and these are the toys that come out from the box. First one that comes out is a municipal dustbin. Then there was the figure of John Stuart Mill, and then a model of the Manchester branch of the Young Women's Christian Association. Then there was Robert Rakes, the founder of Sunday School, and then there was Loaves, sanitary inspector, ballot box, district councillor, official of the local government board, and there were tools of industry that included wheelbarrow, a hoe, there was a model beehive, there was a ventilator for ventilating sewers, there were model of school of art and library. So these were the toys that Uncle Harvey had got for the children on Easter. And also there were few more civilians like Mrs. Hemans, who was a poetess, Sir John Herschel, who was an eminent astrologer. There was Sir Rowland Hills, who introduced the penny postage system. And after Uncle Harvey took out these toys from the box, the children were wondering how should they play with these toys, because they have never played with civilian toys, and they actually didn't know what to do with these civilian toys. And that's when Uncle Harvey he suggests that the children should make two civilians contest election. The moment children hear the word election, immediately Eric says, "You mean to say we should have rotten eggs all around, free people fighting freely, and people with broken heads?" And immediately Eric he exclaims, "You mean to say, sorry, Bertie," he comes up and he says, "You mean to say people with the bleeding noses and everybody drunk?" So this is what they knew about election from William Hoggart's pictures. William Hogarth was a British English painter, and from his pictures, this is the notion of elections which the children had. And the moment the uncle suggests that the children must play, should make to civilians contest election, this is what the children say: rotten eggs, free fights, broken heads, bleeding noses, and all the people drunk in election. Immediately, Uncle Harvey says, the children, "No, this is not what actually happens in an election." He goes on to explain the formal process of election, the ideal way in which elections are to be conducted. He says that votes are put into the ballot box, the mayor counts the votes, and he announces the winner. The candidates contesting the election, they thank the mayor. After that, they would say that the election was conducted in the pleasantest and most straightforward manner. And finally, the contestants would part with expressions of mutual self-esteem. This is the ideal process of election which Harvey explains to the children. And he asked the children to play with this toy, and he also goes on to say that as a child he never had an opportunity to have such civilian toys. However, the children were least interested in playing with these civilian toys, and they said, "We have holiday homework to complete." And this time it was history homework that was given to them. What was the history homework? They had to learn about the Bourbon period in France. The Bourbon is actually an European dynasty of French origin. Just like we have the Mughal period, which tells about the Mughal dynasty, similarly, there was Bourbon period in France, which they had to study about. Harvey was not very happy the moment he heard about the Bowen period because he knew there were many accounts of wars being given during this period, which was actually not true. And it was exaggerated. At the same time, the children, they say, Harvey says, the children say that they have already collected a lot of information about Louis the 14th, who was the king of France and who ruled for around 72 years. He was popularly known as the Sun King. And also the children inform Harvey that they have already learned the names of the major wars that was fought during the Bowen period. And then Harvey, he says that the wars about which the children have already read are actually exaggerated, and the news about the war was not very trustworthy or reliable. There were two reasons why the account of the wars fought during the reign of King Louis was exaggerated and why it was so unreliable. Because at that time there were no war correspondents. Nowadays we have journalists who go and report about different events including wars, but at that point of time there were no war correspondents, and it were the generals and the commanders who fought in the war. Those were the people who gave account of the wars, and they magnified little skirmish or little fight that took place between a few soldiers. They exaggerated in those small little skirmish into decisive wars. So the account of wars given in the history book was not very reliable, was not correct. It was exaggerated. When the children were talking about violent wars, Harvey wanted to divert the mind of the children from the violent things to the more peaceful things. That's when Harvey tells the children Louis the 14th is now famous as a landscape gardener. Landscape gardening, you can see the picture here where the plants are given different shapes and the grass, it is properly laid down. So this is landscape gardening. And Louis the Philip has laid down Versailles, the palace of Versailles. He had suggested the landscape gardening, or he has done the landscape gardening. It was so beautiful that people all over Europe copied it. They were so influenced by his gardening skills. So Harvey was trying his best to tell the children about more peaceful aspects of the king and the king, that is Louis the 14th, and about peace. But children were always occupied with violent things which they have studied in their history books. And immediately Eric talks about Madame du Barry. Madame du Barry was a mistress of the King Louis the 14th. And Eric asked if her head was chopped off. She was killed very violently, and the children knew about it. They might have read about it somewhere, maybe in the history book, and that's what he asked his uncle. Harvey ignores answering this question. Rather, he says that Madame du Barry was also a great lover of gardening. And after that, he tells the children to do their homework a little later and they should try to play with these civilian toys. And he tells the children, and he goes to the library where he thinks for around 30 to 40 minutes. He was thinking, is it possible to compile? Compile means to put put together? Is it possible to put together history without mentioning battles, without mentioning massacres? Massacres is mass killing, like we have Jallianwala Bagh massacre. So, mass killing. And can we compile history without murderous intrigues? Intrigues are secret planning to kill somebody or to harm somebody, and without violent deaths, because children are at a very impressionable age, especially the elementary young children at the elementary level school do not, they need not know about these violent things. He was wondering if it was possible to remove these things from the history book. However, he concludes that it would really be difficult to remove 30 years of war. So wars were fought for almost 30 years, and it would be a challenge to remove 30 years from the history book. The York and the Lanchester period, when there was fight, the Leponic era, and so it's very difficult to do away with wars. And then he says, however, just because young children, are at a very impressionable age, they should be taught invention of calico printing. This is a sample of calico printing, than being taught about Battle of Waterloo or the Spanish Armada. Spanish Armada was a fleet of 130 ships that took part in the war, and Battle of Waterloo was also a very violent battle. So Uncle Harvey thought it is better young children are taught about invention of calico printing in the history book than being taught about these violent wars. He decides, maybe after 30 to 40 minutes, he decides, now it's time, I should go and see how the children are playing with these new toys, or the peace toys. And he goes and he stands outside the door, and he could hear Eric's voice raised in command. And Bertie was also giving some helpful suggestion to his brother. And what these children have done, actually, they have converted, or they have made Robert Rakes play the role of Louis the Felix. They have turned Robert Rakes into Louis the 14th. And what they have done is, Mrs. Hemans, they have made her Madame de Maintenon. Madame de Maintenon is Louis's wife. What they are trying to play is the king, that is Louis the 14th, here represented by Robert Rakes, wants to go on a war. He wants to go to Manchester to fight a war, and his wife is pleading with him not to go on a war, but he doesn't listen to his wife. He takes one of his general, that is General Sachs, and he goes to Manchester, and he has to capture this Young Women's Christian Association, that building maybe. And what these children have done, they have converted the municipal dustbin. They have pierced, they have made holes into the municipal dustbin, that is to accommodate the muzzles of imaginary cannons, the guns, as if those holes are containing guns. And these the king and the commander, they were fighting from there. So this is how the children were playing with the civilian toys. Dustbin was pierced. Mrs. Hemans was made Madame de Maintenon, and Robert Rakes was turned into Louis the 14th. And Louis the 14th Robert Rakes did not look like the king, so he was wearing black coat. So what the children did, they painted his coat in purple color to make it look like the king's dress. So children were very imaginative and very innovative, as you could see. And what happens then, they make Mrs. Now this one, the Louis the King the 14th comes here to fight the war, and here in the war they make Mrs. Heman again play one of the girls in the YWCA, that Young Women's Christian Association. This woman, this girl, she stabs this one the General Sachs, and the General Sack, he starts bleeding, and Bertie sprinkles red ink on him to show that he's bleeding. And then what happens when General Sachs was killed? The other soldiers, they come in to take revenge, and they kill hundreds of girls. And when there was so much of bloodshed happening there, Bertie empties the red ink on the whole building to indicate bloodshed. And here Louis the 14 was telling, I have lost one commander, but I am not going empty handed. I'm taking 500 people with me to France. And they imagine that 500 survivors were dragged to the French ships. So this is what the children were playing with. This is the picture of General Sachs. And the moment Harvey sees the children playing so violently with the peaceful civilian toys, he was greatly disappointed. He goes to his sister and informs her that the experiment has actually failed because they have started too late. The children already knew a lot about violence and a lot about war from the history books, and it is difficult to make them understand or give them the peace message of peace through these peaceful toys. Now, with this, I come to the end of this lesson. I just wanted to tell you the images or the pictures that are used in this video are actually taken from the internet, and there is no plagiarism or copyright infringement intended. These pictures are not prepared by me or taken by me. Okay, thank you very much. See you in the next video.